All right, no, so we're good. All right, good Friday morning, everybody.
Morning.
How you all doing? What's today? Anybody know? April Fool's Day, yes. April 1st, 2022 already. Anybody get any April Fools pulled on them so far today? You did? All right, good deal, yeah. Remember when I was a kid, my mom would come in when I was in elementary school, and I never really liked school, and she'd come in and she'd say, Dave, you know what? You don't have school today. We had a winter storm. And I'd get all excited, jump up, look outside, and look like this out there. And then she'd go, ha ha, April Fools. I'd be like, oh man, what a way to start off your morning. Anyway, I digress a little bit. Sorry, Steve. I know you're looking at me. You go, what the hell are you talking about?
Story, Dave.
No, yeah, it's a little story about my life. But anyway, today is April 1st. Glad everybody's here today. Welcome to Prime Friday Morning Safety Meeting. Like to take this opportunity to go out to our outside terminals. Let's go out to Salt Lake City. Do we have Mr. Troy out there?
We're sorry, Troy couldn't be here today. He drove off a cliff in the Grand Canyon last weekend.
Okay. So who do we have?
April Fools. Sorry, April Fools. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Troy. How you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Good to see you back. Where'd you go last week? Grand Canyon or something?
Went to the Grand Canyon and drove around on four-wheelers, and it was a blast. We had a great time.
Did you do any hiking? You go down inside of it or anything?
We did. We did over about 350 miles in 3 days, and we drove down to the bottom and then back up to the rim, and it was a great time. We had a good time.
That would be a fun place for four-wheelers, no doubt about it. So what's going on out in Salt Lake this week?
Oh, man, we've got a good crowd. We've got about 30 people or so here having some breakfast this morning. We got a line of people over in the cafeteria, so we're getting ready for the day.
Good deal. How many people you have in orientation out there this week?
About a dozen this week. I think we had 13 show up this week. So we're ramping back up. We're starting to get more and more.
Good to hear, man. If you got any questions, any comments, make sure you get your folks on the mic and let us know.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, take care. Let's head out east. Pittston, Pennsylvania. Do we have Lisa out there?
Yeah, good morning. We're here.
I have to say you beat Salt Lake this week. That's good.
I kind of made them do it because I have this terrible raspiness in my voice, and I said, guys, you have to back me up here. I sound more like Larry than I do Lisa today.
Well, we'll keep your name at Lisa if that's okay with you.
That's fine. The allergy season is kicking in. So yesterday we were at like 69 degrees here, and today we're at 40 some. So I think everybody's allergies and sinuses are really acting up.
Hey, it's that time of year when that stuff happens. So Zyrtec is my best friend this time of year. So keep that stuff away and try to keep you cleared up. But what's going on out there this week, Lisa? What do you guys got going?
I'm telling you, our place is rocking today, and I'm not even joking. There's people in line. We have a great crowd here. We had a big orientation class. Denise just told me, she didn't know the exact number, but she said it was a good class. 34, there we go. Some gentleman just mentioned 34 people. Weather is breaking, so I know these, the across the street, the parking lot and everything, it'll start getting done.
That is awesome. Good deal. You guys have any questions out there? Let us know. We'll get you on the mic and answer or ask away, whatever you need.
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right, take care. Back here to Springfield. How's everybody doing this morning? There we go. A little bit better, Steve. Hey, this morning I'm happy to get Mr. Steve Field back up here with us. Steve's been off for a few weeks. Good to have you back here.
Thank you, Dave.
And good to see your white eyes again and have you up here up front with us. So
I'm ready to go.
there you go. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Hey, we've got a couple announcements I wanted to bring up. Make sure everybody's aware. Monday, April 4th, we have our Million Mile Dinner for 2, 3, and 4 million mile drivers. Looking forward to that, to honoring them and giving them their awards. April 11th, got the Highway Diamonds. So a week from Monday, Highway Diamonds will be going on. So if any ladies like to attend that, and hey, jump on in. Make sure you're RSVP. Let them know. Let Brooke know, and she'll get you on the list. So And then April 22nd, we're going to have our prime truck driving championships out here, 5 p.m. Yeah, definitely want as many people as that can make it in to participate. All you have to have is a CDL. So if you're a PSD student, you don't have a CDL yet, you're not eligible, but everybody else, doesn't matter what C class, C, B, A, love to have you. Doesn't matter what your safety record may be. Just show up and compete. It'll be fun. And basically how this works is we'll set up 6 problems out there on the course. And we'll provide our equipment, so you don't get to drive your truck, but you'll drive ours. It'll probably be one of the couple of pad trucks out here, and there'll be a flatbed trailers and there'll be reefer trailers hooked to them. And you guys take them through the course and see how close you can get to some of the problems, and we'll score you off it. And it's a good time. We'll have John Blancett and his staff will be out there cooking hot dogs and burgers and stuff. We'll have tents set up. We'll have music going, and then at the end of this competition, we're going to award the winners, the top 3. And then we'll also announce too who have the opportunity to go to state as well, so and represent Prime. So looking forward to that. It'll be a fun night, and we'll have a good time. You looking forward to it?
Well, it's nice to get back to those events, isn't it, Dave?
Oh, definitely, man. This COVID stuff's had us locked down, no doubt. So
It really has, and we've lost just a little bit of our mojo maybe through COVID, that we haven't been able to have these events that are really so much of our culture. So we're anxious to have our Million Mile dinner on Monday, and actually we've got some 1 million mile drivers too. We've got 2, 3, 4s and 1 million mile drivers. We're trying to kind of get caught up, and then next year we'll get back to our traditional Million Mile dinners where everyone that previously has been honored is able to attend, and we get a nice 500, 600, 700 people dinner going on. I think what our plan will be is to try to make it a little easier on operations, that when we have functions in Pittston and Salt Lake City, we'll do our Million Mile dinners there for those drivers to kind of spread it out a little bit, because it does become a little bit of a logistical challenge when we bring in so many of our high caliber drivers, whether it's for the Million Mile dinner, for the Highway Diamonds. So we're trying to really find a compromise there to honor folks and also be able to support our customers out there.
and hopefully come September, we'll have our picnic back, Labor Day weekend, and hopefully the holiday party at the end of the year as well. So
I think we've got something in May, I think is our delayed holiday. Memorial Day, we've got a party.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I already forgot about that. Yeah. So if you guys could get through, man, I know some of you have been here maybe a year or two, you haven't experienced, please do. It's a good time. We like getting together. We all work pretty hard. You all work the hardest by far, delivering, picking up, being out on the road. And something, you know, we work hard. We like to play hard sometimes too. So we'll have some good fun activities and like to get drivers in and join in and have a good time. That's what it's about right there. I'd like to take this opportunity too to recognize all of our new folks that are coming through orientation this week. If you're A, B, C, or D seat, if you could stand up and be recognized at any one of our terminals, please do so. Got a good group of folks here today, so it's awesome.
You know, it's nice to see so many. I know for a while there, we did have to slow down just a little bit our recruiting effort. You hear a lot in the publications, the trucking magazines, well, companies can't get drivers. Well, I don't think we've really had that problem. And in fact, it was just the opposite. We did slow down a little bit, and we'll probably hear about that today when we have a couple of our Success Leasing associates. And it was really based upon the inability to get trucks through no fault of Prime's fault. It was just, again, another, supply chain issue, COVID issues that you just can't go get trucks the way you could a couple of years ago. But I think we're ramping our recruiting back up as we project out where we'll be with trucks when we get to this summer. So it's good to see so many folks here. For the new folks there, the folks that have been here, you've heard me say this before, but for the folks that are just starting in trucking, you're entering a very, very challenging profession, but it's also a very rewarding profession. Don't believe in my opinion, don't believe anything you hear about autonomous trucks. We're never going to need truck drivers. Frankly, I don't see how that's ever going to work. It's difficult to drive a truck. I just don't imagine how they're going to drive themselves through construction zones and back into docks. We're always going to need good, safe truck drivers. And right now is just a great opportunity for trucking, that there's just such demand out there for drivers, that our sales folks have been able to move the rates in the direction we want them to move. earnings for our drivers have never been better. It's just a great opportunity. And I was reading an article yesterday. There was something in the New York Times that was kind of talking about the trucking industry in derogatory terms. And, you know, we belong to the American Trucking Associations, and one of their responsibilities is to be our lobbyists and refute that information. And it just was an inaccurate article. And, you know, what they failed to recognize or acknowledge there is that an over-the-road truck driver or any type of truck driver, it's a good opportunity for folks to move into the middle class, to be able to take care of your family, to perhaps have your children go to college, that maybe that wasn't going to be an opportunity if you were working at a fast food restaurant or you were working at a warehouse or something. Trucking is a good profession. It's an honorable profession. Dave and I have both been in it for a long, long time, and we're proud to be truckers. And so I just want to welcome you new folks. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very challenging. And there's going to be times when you say, I just don't know if I can do this, or maybe this isn't right for me, but just reach down deep and you can do it. I promise you can do it. And most of the drivers that we recognize on Monday at our Million Mile Dinner, most of them started as D seats right here at Prime. Came to us with no experience and now are getting either their 1 or 2 million Safe Mile awards from us. So it can be done. Listen to your instructors, listen to your trainers, ask questions, stay focused out there. We know what we're doing. We really do. We've been doing this PSD program now for probably 15 years, maybe coming up on 16 years. It's not perfect. We tweak it every year. I think it gets better every year, but this is a great opportunity for every one of you to really be able to take your life to the next level. And I mean that. And when we have leasing up here, I don't know if they're going to talk about it today, but I'll just throw out there, you know, this is an opportunity for you to build your own fleet, to get your own truck and then add a second truck or whatever you want to do. The opportunity's there. So enough about that, but I just always just feel it's very important for you to hear that, particularly our new drivers. We're proud of what we do here, and we're going to be proud of you folks too. So thank you for being here. We really, really appreciate you being here.
All right, let's move into some safety.
Go ahead,
Let's
Dave.
do that. Yeah. Our inspections this last week, we had 130 inspections. 91 of those were clean, so 70% clean rate. Another 70% weak. Yes. Give yourself a round of applause. That's awesome. Those numbers are great. I'm going to bring Dennis Davis up here in a second, but some of our violations we got out there on the road was for not being able to produce a registration or an inspection from your truck or trailer. And just so everybody's well aware of this, those are accessible on the app. I'm going to give Dennis a few minutes here to discuss our Prime mobile app, especially how it relates to safety. So good morning, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Dave, and good morning, Steve. You know, Steve whispered to me, hey, you only got a few minutes to go, so I'll make sure I'll be as brief as I can. And, you know, Dave talked about some of the inspection violations that are not being able to produce any documents for an officer. And I just want to talk just a quick minute about the Prime mobile app and how accessible, you know, the app is. You know, first, you know, as far as you sending us information, you know, your DOT physical, when you get your CDL, you know, updated, whatever the case may be, you never need to come in and hand us a piece of paper again. You know, this Prime mobile app is probably one of the most useful tools we have here at Prime. Anything you need to send us, you can send it from wherever you are in the world right here on the Prime mobile app. You know, if you still want to just come and visit, that's fine too. You know, some of the things that we require you to do, the annual review and on a biannual basis, the hazmat recertification, also available to do right here on the Prime mobile app. Again, if you just want to come and visit and get that done, we still have, you know, paper copies where you can do it, but, you know, it's easier and more efficient for everybody involved for you to use the Prime mobile app. You know, going back to the inspection situation, you know, if you run into a situation where you look in your permit book and something is expired or something is not there, right there in your pocket on your Prime mobile app, you have all of your permits, you have your cab card, you have the registration for the trailer, you have the alcohol permits for each of the states, any permit that you would need or would traditionally find in that big black permit book that you have in your side door, you also have it right here in your pocket. So if you just click on the My Prime right there on the home page, then, you know, there's an option in the top right-hand corner to click another menu, gives you a whole bunch of stuff. If you just click on My Permits, it'll give you everything that you're looking for, including the insurance document. So if anybody has any questions about that, I'll kind of be lingering around here. And of course, we've got the experts over there that can get you anything Prime mobile app related taken care of. So hopefully that answers all your questions.
Man, you did great. And besides that, Dennis brings up a lot of information. Make sure when you get that Prime mobile app, take 45 minutes to an hour and go through it. Just mess around on it. You're not going to hurt anything. You can be able to find where you need to go. Hey, if I get stopped for an inspection, where do I go on this? Because we all know you get stopped for your first, second, third inspection. Some of us, maybe the 10th, you get a little nervous. It goes like, well, no, you got an officer standing there asking you questions. It's best to understand that mobile app where you can go to get it. And besides that, make sure you understand your permit book too. When they give you a permit book out there or you come through lineup, look through it. If you'd rather have the paper copies of the truck registration, the insurance, get that from our permits department. They're more than happy to give that to you. Then you have that in your permit book too. So when that officer asks you for it, open it up, say, here you go, and just hand it to them. It makes it real simple. So good job, Dennis. Appreciate you coming up.
I'll mention real quick, since we do work in the safety department, if you do find yourself in a situation where, of course, none of you guys are going to have accidents, you're not going to hit anybody. But if you're sitting at a truck stop and somebody knocks your mirror off or something like that, and you need to report an accident or send us pictures, of course, you can still call us and we'll get that taken care of. We'll always ask for pictures. Those pictures can be sent over the Prime mobile app. Just click on the report accident link. It'll take you on a 3-step process. One of those steps is to load pictures. You can either take it via the app or, for you iPhone users, not you Android guys, but no, Android is fine too. But you can just take pictures in your gallery and load them there too.
And besides safety, road assist, they depend upon that too. If something breaks on your truck, take pictures, send it to us. And that's the same way you go through only on the road assist side. So yeah. Any questions for Dennis up here? Prime mobile app. If you do have questions on it, you have problems accessing it, whatever it may be, you got Brian and Richard over here sitting to my right, your left. They're more than happy to help you after the meeting and get that taken care of. So should we bring up some speakers?
Yeah, our first speakers today, and let me just, I don't want to steal any of their thunder, but let me just talk just for a second about Success Leasing, and I'll include pedigree in that. I've seen these guys evolve over the last 25 years or so from a 3 or 4 person department to what they become now, and just a fantastic group of folks there providing customer service. If you're looking towards the future and you're thinking, I want to be in trucking, but maybe I don't want to drive forever, or maybe I want to have someone drive for me, Success Leasing is where you need to be. You need to be talking to these folks there. Drew and his crew, they do a fantastic job. We wouldn't be where we are today as a company without Success Leasing. So we've got Haley and Madison today. I don't know, is Duke coming up too, or he's okay? Duke's going to stay there. So we've got Haley and Madison today, and we're going to turn it over to them. They've got some areas that they want to talk about, but if you have other questions, they're good on their feet, and they'll get you answers for those. So, ladies.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hello. My name is Haley. I work in Success Leasing. Oh, I'm Maddie. This is Maddie. We're just going to go over a few little things about truck orders and end of leases. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask at the end. We'll kind of see if you guys have any. But Maddie will take it over and talk about end of leases. She handles that, and that's totally her wheelhouse, so she knows it very well. Feel free to ask her any questions as well.
Okay, well, thanks, Haley.
My pleasure.
So first of all, I just want to congratulate anyone if they have recently or ever completed a lease with us. These times, we're doing about 40 end of leases a week, which is huge. 40 drivers that are completing, and it could be a 3-year lease, like a 4-year lease if you're flatbed. It could be a year lease if it was a used truck. So I just want to give kudos to everyone that's ever completed a lease with us. If you're currently leasing, hopefully you get there one day, and we'll be processing your bonus. But as far as the end of lease process, here's how it kind of just goes. So you'll turn into the Bay 47. I was going to say the shop. Bay 47 over there at the shop. You'll sign a document stating that you're turning in your truck. It's end of lease. At that point, I take over, and I will communicate with all the shops. So at that point, I'm letting them know, hey, this truck's been turned in, and this is what we need to process this driver's bonus. We try to get these to you guys as quickly as possible. So right now we're doing about 3 days. It's taken us from the moment you turn it in to the moment I'm paying you that money is about 3 days, which is amazing. So that's great. I email everything to you at the end. So you can see, a breakdown strictly of like what exactly you were charged for, So if you have any questions from there, you can always email me or call me. I also call you, first to just congratulate you guys because it's a huge accomplishment with Prime. So I call you, congratulate you. We go over your amount. At that point, if you have any questions, I'm there to help. If not, look over that email. And then from there, if you have questions, always email or call us. We're here to help you guys. So if you have any questions, we are here. Trying to think anything else.
If you guys are new, end of leases are basically, if you're thinking about leasing, if you finish the term on the lease, there's an incentive at the end of that. So it's your total authorized dispatch miles times 0.0525. And then there's some other calculations that Maddie does as well. We also like to celebrate you. So if you have been on the truck for the full term, if you're reefer, it'll be 3 years. Flatbed and tanker, it'll be 4 years. We love to celebrate you. So somebody from Success Leasing or your dispatcher will go to dinner at Fire and Ice and have a big celebration. You'll get a bag for the company store or some credits added to your card. So it really is a celebration, and we're so proud of you guys. There's people that have earnings a lot of money. So just keep that in mind. Keep rolling that truck, and the more miles you put on that, the more money you're going to get at the end. So that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions?
Questions about end of lease? I'm going to talk really quickly about ordered trucks. So that is really my wheelhouse. I handle all of our ordered trucks. So after you have been leasing for 3 months, you can go to our website and you can place an order for a truck. Right now, you can order Freightliners. If you are end of lease, you can order a Peterbilt as well. Unfortunately, these trucks are still decently behind. I'm sorry. I know it's frustrating for everyone involved, but feel free to reach out to me anytime. I am happy to track your truck, happy to tell you where it's at and what's going on with it. Right now, your trucks are running still consistently about 3 to 4 weeks behind. Also, I really want to iterate, I think that's the right word, that we do schedule pickups by appointment. So right now we are getting a good flow of trucks in. Yesterday I had 12 lease purchase trucks show up to pick up, which is totally great. I'm so excited for you guys. But I really, really love appointments so that I can really talk to you guys and go over everything, make sure we're all on the same page. When your truck does get to the yard, your ordered truck, I will call you and let you know that it's here. And at that time, we'll schedule an appointment, and then I will schedule with the shops of when to have it ready for you. So just wait for that phone call. If you want me to track it, please reach out to me, Success Leasing, and that's about it.
I do have one more thing to add. If you're in a current lease with us, at this point, we are extending leases. A lot of drivers did not know that, if you just have a certain lease term, call us and see if you can extend that lease. So if you are interested in that, reach out to us. You can send us a Qualcomm message. You can call us. Qualcomm right now has kind of been the quickest way. Our phones have kind of been wild. So if you do call us, you will have just a bit of a hold time, but we will get to you as soon as possible. If you leave us any one of us a voicemail, we will always call back as well. But yeah, if you are interested, let us know.
Any questions for Success Leasing? Yeah.
Get a quick question. Well, several questions. I
Okay.
guess. All the same questions.
Love
but
that.
several
It's
of
probably about the lease purchase program.
You are 100%
Figured.
correct.
Okay. Okay. So the lease purchase program is currently suspended. To be very frank, it's hard right now to get trucks from our OEMs. So we've got to protect the fleet. We've got to protect our upgrades coming in and make sure we have trucks for everybody. This doesn't mean that we're not bringing the program back. This is a wonderful thing that Success Leasing offers, is for you guys to build your fleet, to run multiple trucks. Right now, it's just suspended. So hopefully, maybe the end of the year, I'm not quite sure when it will come back, but it will come back. It might look a little different, but just hang with us. These are some crazy times with getting trucks. I'm sure you are all aware of that, but we will bring the program back eventually.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
how long's the waiting list now?
I'd say right now, maybe 45 to 50 drivers.
For reefer.
Yes. Yeah. For the refrigerated division, flatbed, we are having a little bit of a wait, just trying to get with our shops to get those worked through as quickly as possible. I'd say right now, on average, a driver's may be waiting 5 to 7 days to get a truck. If you're like an upgrade, new hire, rehire, end of lease, we try to get you seated extremely quickly or at least looking at a truck, maybe just like a 1 to 2 day wait there.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick question for us that are leasing that still have a Schedule C in our contract. Are we still honoring the contract?
So yes. So what'll happen if you're interested in purchasing your truck, you'll have to go online to successleasing.com under our knowledge center. You'll fill out an early payoff request form. At that point, you and Dana will be in communication about purchasing that truck with outside financing. Okay.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for having us, guys. Have a great day.
All right, thank you,
Thank you,
for coming
ladies.
out. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, oh. Go ahead, Steve.
Lightweight equipment. What's the status of lightweight equipment? Where are we at with the lightweights?
Great.
Wonderful on lightweights. If you want a lightweight, let's get rolling. We are good to go. Yeah. Love that.
Good deal. Thank you for coming up. Appreciate it. No, you guys did great. Steve, many times we like to go to Drew Martin or Daryl Hopkins with our questions on leasing, trying to get a hold of those guys. We only sit about 25 feet from them. They're either on a conference call or they're in a meeting or they're doing something. Haley, Maddie, even Dana in leasing, they're great people to know because they've got the answers just as well as the other guys, the other two do. So, get a hold of them if you've got questions. There's no doubt about it. So.
I agree completely. I think there was a lot of good information there and really get to know the folks in leasing. As Dave said, they're good folks. The one thing that Maddie said that I didn't realize was that they've got the lease completion bonus calculation down to 3 days now. I remember when I think that was 45 days,
Oh, yeah. It
maybe
used to be ways up
years
there.
ago. And that's when we talk about we're not perfect, but we listen and we hear, why am I waiting 45 days to know what my lease completion is? 3 days now. I think that's remarkable. I think they just do a fantastic job. So thank you to Madison and Haley for coming up. You ready, Justin? You want to start making your way up here? We've got Justin Kaufman. Justin oversees what we call our call center, basically road assist. When you have an issue on the road, those folks, they all work with Justin, and he's got a few topics for us today. And before you get to your topics, just briefly, would you also introduce the vendors? I think we haven't had a chance to do that in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Steve.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, we have on-site vendors that work with our operations group, our road breakdown group, and they're all back through here in the back corner. And obviously, we've got to go ahead and stand up, vendors. So these folks are working really hard to get your trucks, our trucks, in and out of shops. Get them going. And I can tell you right now, it's a super challenging time. We look at the labor force across the United States and in the dealer world. And so, they're working to get trucks turned. And if there's ever a parts issue, working to get a part pulled off of a new truck, wrecked truck, getting it supplied getting it from their supplier, and working very closely with their OE to get those parts. So, they're working hard every day. Your truck is down. So they, and I'll say also add on to that, and that if you ever have a problem that is a repeated issue, something that you just can't get fixed, you've been in and out of multiple dealers, these are the folks that we want to get involved so that they can work with their engineers and try to get a game plan to get it fixed. Moving on to my topic, we're coming up here is International Road Check. It's May 17th through the 19th, and a big focus is on wheel ends. And I just wanted to kind of touch base on and kind of show some photos here. If Brianne can get my slides up here. But, one thing to always just do a good inspection on is your tires, obviously, So the DOT requires 4 30-seconds of tread in every major tread groove of a steer tire and 2 30-seconds of tread in every major tread groove of a driver trailer tire. So, it's just important that we make sure that we're checking those tread depths, make sure that the tread depths are at the proper depth, and then also that you got a tread depth gauge Some things that we run across all the time are where the decoupling groove is wore off the steer tire. And, it's the decoupling groove is the very outer groove on the tire, on the steer tire. And we'll see if Brianne can, 1 second. All right. Get some photos pulled up here, but what classifies a major tread groove is if it's if there's a wear bar in the groove, and if there's a wear bar in the groove, then that is what classifies it as a major tread groove. So, I think so. But at any rate, the other thing is, oh, here we go. Good job, Brianne. So here's a photo of a tire, where we're doing a tread depth gauge. We're checking the tread depth, and obviously this is a drive tire here, so we want to make sure that we have at least 230 seconds in that major tread groove. If we can go to the next picture real quick, tread depth gauge. If you don't have a tread depth gauge, Doug Cam's in the back. He's our tire manager. We'll hook you up with one today. So just meet us in the corner back there, and we'll get you a tread depth gauge. You want to move to the next photo? Here's a photo of the decoupling groove that I was talking about. And this is what we sometimes see, that decoupling groove wearing off the steer tire. And that is totally fine. That is legal as long as we got 430 seconds of tread in every one of those major tread grooves of a steer tire. So where that white arc is right there, that is kind of indicating that first groove, that decoupling groove on the outer edge of the tire. Sometimes we'll get upsold by truck stops or somebody looking at your tires saying that, hey, these tires need to be changed. And I'm just saying that, even if that decoupling groove is wore off, as long as there's 430 seconds in every major tread groove, the tire is still legal. And, obviously, like I talked about, May 17th through the 19th, International Road Check is going to be focused on wheel hinge. We want to make sure that we're looking for any oil leaks that are around the axle flange gaskets. This is a classic case where you got some oil leaking outside the axle flange gasket. So we want to make sure that if you see this, that you get photos into your road assist advisor so we can get an action plan to get it fixed. Here is a classic example of a leaking wheel seal. Many of you may have already seen something like this in doing pre-trips, but once again, you can kind of see the oil and grease caking around the brake drum and the brake shoe. And, this is just kind of another case where, we want to make sure to get photos. If you see this on your pre-trip, in-route, post-trip inspection, get photos into your road assist advisor so that we can get an action plan to get that fixed. I threw this picture in here just so everybody knows that, this is a broken frame rail of a trailer. And whenever you find these cases, or you're involved in them, this is kind of a stop everything, contact road assist, let's get photos, let's figure out, what we need to do, specifically, if it's loaded, we'll oftentimes want to get someone out there to, put angle iron on it or to transload the load. So, and the importance of me showing this photo here is that, if you've got 4 major frame rails on a trailer, they support the trailer as it's going down the road with the load in it, right? So if you have one of those broken, we've actually seen trailers break in 2 whenever they've been loaded. So, this is something that obviously you want to report to road assist, get photos right into us, and we need to get a game plan for. And this is something I just wanted to kind of bring up as well. Most of our trucks have jump posts at the rear of the tractor cab. And this can be a really great thing if you're carrying jumper cables, which I hope most of you have. We recommend you keep either 2 or 4 gauge jumper cables on board so that if you do encounter a reefer that you can't get started up at a shipper and you need a trailer, you can hook up your jumper cables, open a curbside reefer door, and jump start your reefer unit. It also works for your truck. But we sell jumper cables in our company store. Believe me, they can save a lot of time and a lot of money versus waiting to sit at a Love's or a TA for them to get you in and get your reefer running. So, one additional thing to this that I wanted to bring up is, we want to make sure that if we're using those jumper posts, that we get the caps put back on, because we've also seen where, as you can see up there on the deck plate, if anything gets on those jumper posts, and create a direct short, we've seen, some fires because of that. So just want to touch base on that. Lastly, I just wanted to touch on, we offer a class called Pro Maintenance on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. here in Springfield. We'll show you how to jumpstart your reefer unit. We go through, just some basic hands-on repairs, and we talk about the value of those repairs. Some of these truck stops and shops that we use on the road, it's getting a little bit more difficult to find help on nights and weekends. So, if you've done some basic repairs yourself, like change your headlight, change your mud flaps, as Anthony can attest to that, then, we can, that'll save you a lot of time and a lot of money, just going ahead and taking care of it yourself, sending a message into Road Assist, and we'll get you reimbursed. But this class, Pro Maintenance, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'd love to have you in it. Several people in the audience here I know have already taken it, and it's just good to kind of go over some basic maintenance things. But any questions for me?
And you got off easy today.
All right.
I tell you, I used to sit next to where the Road Assist advisors work. These are some incredible folks there. They're knowledgeable. They care about you. It's important that you get to know who your support team is. You've got your fleet manager. You've got your Road Assist advisor. You've got your payroll advisor. You've got your log advisor. Make sure you get to know these people. Know them by name. Get their card so you can call them and you're comfortable speaking with them, and you don't feel like you're causing a problem when you call in with a question that you think, maybe I should know this, but I don't know it. Call these folks. That's why they're there. And all of us that work in-house, we all depend on you to basically earn our living for us. We're not generating any revenue in the safety department. We're spending money, but our job is to support you, as everyone in this building is. Our job is to support you out there, so you're never bothering us with a question.
And Steve, besides that, he brought up the Pro Maintenance class. I know we talk about, taking care of our cars and how we go to O'Reilly's and have them replace our windshield wipers. It's kind of embarrassing being a guy, but you pull up to O'Reilly's, you don't want to do that with your truck, because you go to these shops and, hey, replace my headlight or replace my windshield wiper. They're going to charge you. They're going to nickel and dime you. And that's what it is. It's asking for a service. Take that Pro Maintenance class, understand how to do that, and save yourself the money, because that's a big asset to us. And these guys do a great job teaching that class. You learn a lot in there real quick. So don't be afraid. Talk to your fleet manager. Say, hey, I want to take that Pro Maintenance class. I'll get you in. I'm going up and go all 3 terminals for sure. So just let them know. We'll get you in here, especially here in Springfield if you're already here. So
sounds good.
Let's get the next one up here.
Yeah. There's so many things that go into being successful in trucking. You got to be out there trucking. You got to be safe. You got to be working with your fleet manager. But don't overlook taking care of yourself. I think Prime has been one of the leaders in this within our industry. People are trying to catch up, which is great. We want everyone to be healthy within our industry. But we've been out there for a long time. So I'm going to ask Matt Hancock to come up, and Matt runs our health and fitness area here at Prime, which is really designed to make you as healthy as possible, to answer your questions, to give you the information you need to be healthy. So go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So like Steve said, we've talked just now, we heard from road maintenance, and that's great, learning how to put your truck in right working condition to be out on the road and stay safe. And to, lessen accidents that might happen because of maintenance issues. And the same thing goes for your body, right? The operator is the most important part, being behind the wheel. And if you're not your healthiest self, if you have problems maybe with certain conditions, if you need help with that, that's what we're here for. And my name's Matt. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the driver health and fitness coordinator, and I work with the team to put the right resources together for you out on the road. We know this isn't your cookie cutter wellness program approach, because you guys have a lot of barriers out there to being healthy. finding healthy food, making recipes. You might not know how to do that. Lessening, the factors that come around from obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. All those things are things we can help you out with. And for those of you who don't know, we do this all virtually. So we do it all through our website, driverhealthandfitness.com. And the first question I always get is, how much does this cost? Well, you're a prime driver, you work for us, we want you to be healthy, and so everything we do is going to be free. So you can access our personal trainers, you can access our dietitian, Rachel, who's actually upstairs right now putting together a diabetic management program for you guys to access while you're out on the road. That's due to launch in the fall. And so we have a lot of people working to put the right resources together for you. And we also have a trainer out in Salt Lake City that can actually write you workouts virtually. You can do inside or outside your truck on the road. And then we have one in Pittston, Pennsylvania as well that can be there for you to give you the resources you need to get healthier. So you might be thinking, okay, well, how can I use this right now if you want to? So if you go to driverhealthandfitness.com, the best way to stay up to date on all we're doing is to go sign up for our newsletter at the bottom of the page. If you do that, we'll send you every month the updates that we're putting together for programs, resources, the new services we're putting out there on the website. We just launched our new website on driverhealthandfitness.com February 1st. And so get in there and use our resources. Right now, we actually are in the midst of a program called Fit in 15. If you haven't heard about that, we have about 300 drivers that signed up for that. And right now, the average weight loss per driver is going to be about 6 to 7%, and we're about 8 weeks into it out of the 15 weeks. And it's a 15-week program, 15 minutes per day. So we make it very time convenient for you. So you could do it on your 30-minute mandated break. We have exercise routines you can do in there inside or outside of your truck. And if you go on there right now, you'll see on the bottom, it's going to say enrollment closed. And that's because we wanted to do a closed kind of a pilot program so we can kind of fix the tweaks in there and fix the things that we might have issues with. And so that program is going to go till May. But what we have is starting a week from this Monday, we're actually opening up a year-round version of that program. So that year-round version is 15 weeks, 15 minutes per day on most days of the week, not 7 days of the week. And you can access that and sign up for it 24/7, 365. So if you're a team driver, trainer, if you're solo, you'll be able to do that while you're on the road. We actually have help and input from drivers in our driver health and fitness task force that gave us input to build that program. And so it's directly relatable to what you can do out on the road with exercise, recipes for nutrition. You'll also have the accountability built in there with health coaching calls. And we've had great success with it so far. And so sign up for that starting April 11th. It's free. It's a great resource to lessen your weight. And we're also putting things together every month. And so make sure to go sign up on our newsletter on there at the bottom of the main page on driverhealthandfitness.com. If you have questions and you want to just get feedback from even other drivers, we also have a Facebook group that's really popular. We've got about 1,100 drivers in that. And that's on Facebook under Prime Driver Health and Fitness for the groups. And so great resources for you guys to do. We have a lot more going than that. We have a mental health program, tobacco quit program. That's all going to be on the website on driverhealthandfitness.com. Any questions or anything?
This is your chance. Ask Mattis questions. Oh, got him, Keith? Yep.
As far as healthy eating on the trucks, what would you recommend is the best cooking apparatus to use?
To tell you the truth, that's a great question. So what is our recommended cooking apparatus? We would have to say that in our current Fit in 15 program, all the recipes we do is actually in the microwave. And it kind of blew my mind how our dietitian could put so many recipes together for a microwave, but they actually taste really good. And so microwaves first and foremost, a fridge to put your stuff in, obviously. After that, Instant Pot and Crock Pot are two pretty popular ones. You just want to make sure that they don't pull over your max wattage in your truck. So I think it's, 1,500 or something like that. And so Instant Pot and Crock Pot are also very popular. So those are probably the top three that when I've talked to drivers, those are their go-tos. But anybody that has questions, about nutrition, exercise, anything like that, we do also work just directly above here. And so if you want to go into a deep dive on, best cooking devices, best recipes, if you want some ideas for just to kind of mix things up, if you've been in the industry for a while, we work right upstairs too. So right in the driver's lounge, you'll see our office back in the back corner up there. So feel free to come up there and ask us any questions if you don't feel comfortable asking them here too.
All right. Good job, Matt. Appreciate it. Matt will be around too after the meeting. If you guys have questions or you want to see him, get his contact information, or Rachel, she's our dietitian. Good information to have out there on the road. Just a reminder, we did get one question on the Million Mile Dinner on Monday night. The doors open at 5 p.m. So those of you who are wondering, or those of you going to be here, 5 p.m. the doors will open. So our next segment here, we got a video. It's a Vietnam Wall video memorial that Prime was involved in. I'm going to have Mitch here in our marketing department. He was behind it and he helped get it going. So go ahead, Mitch, explain that if you would, please.
Yeah, I'll just talk about it real quick. So like Dave said, we had the opportunity to participate in what's called the Wall That Heals tour. And so basically what the wall is a replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. So basically the point behind the tour is it takes this replica wall trailer that travels all the way across the country to several different communities, basically giving people the opportunity to pay their respects to those who fought in the Vietnam War and didn't make it home. So the memorial basically has thousands and thousands of Vietnam veterans who didn't make it home. And if you're familiar, which I'm assuming most people are, with the Vietnam War, a lot of veterans who fought in that war came home and really didn't receive the welcoming that they should have. So it really gives family members the opportunity to enjoy that experience together as much as you can. This year we had two operators participate, James Rose and Mike Thomas. They are actually both veterans themselves. James, 31 years as a Marine, and Mike, 19 years as a Marine. So super cool opportunity. They picked it up in Northeast Missouri, took it down to Mississippi, where they were escorted by police, veteran support groups, and they actually got to meet and talk to the families of some of these veterans that were there to pay their respects. So awesome event. I think this video, which Mark did, Mark Harrell, he's here today. He did a really great job on it. So let's check it out.
Yeah.
As we stop at the truck stops,
we have people at night. We have people come up to take pictures also and give thanks for transporting the wall. And some people didn't know what it was. As we came along, getting here throughout the day, there was folk that was taking pictures as it was coming up, passing us, giving them the thumbs up, blowing the horn, and that type of stuff. The Vietnam War was fought during one of the years that I was born in 1968. And for me, I have a great respect for all veterans, especially those veterans that served in the Vietnam War, because they did not get all the fanfare coming home. And whenever I went to boot camp, my senior drill instructor said, whenever you meet a Vietnam vet, make sure that you go up and you shake their hand and you tell them thank you for your service and also welcome home. As far as hauling this wall, to me, I feel it gives people that don't have a chance to go to DC to see the actual wall, to come out and see the replica of it and get the same gratitude as those that go to DC to see the wall. We're going to drive through a couple communities across the Bay St. Louis Bridge and end up at the Bay St. Louis Tigers, which is a local high school there. We're going to park the trailer there so it can be set up and people can see the wall. I'm really looking forward to meeting folk tomorrow, also talking to some of the vets, the surviving vets of the Vietnam War, and just draw on their spirit and their determination.
Personally, because I got a lot of friends on that wall.
This is the one that's the POWMIA truck. I got the POWMIA table on be on the back, you know.
We support all veterans as an organization with the Patriot Guard, and this is just, it's neat to escort the wall that heals, to support all the Vietnam veterans that didn't get the support back when they came home from the war.
I'm truly honored to be participating in this, and to be selected out of so many wonderful drivers, to be the one to actually come out and pull the wall. That's just a great honor, and I'm looking forward to hopefully do it again.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark, on that video. You did a great job. Appreciate it. Yep, no doubt. This morning, I got Mr. James Sperry up here with us. James, how long have you been in Prime?
I've been in Prime now for 8 years.
8 years. And what division are you in?
I'm a reefer driver.
Reefer. Okay. What'd you think about that video?
I'm going to tell you, first of all, thank you, Prime, for doing that. I've got 4 uncles and an aunt that all served, and one never made it home. One never made it home right. So that's got me a little emotional, believe it or not.
What branch did you serve in, James?
I was the U.S. Navy.
How many years?
I did 4.
4 years. All right. Well, thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
I'd like to ask all of our veterans to stand up to be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming up. Appreciate it. Appreciate your service, too. I'd like to turn this over to Steve Whitkey. Steve, Vice President of Sales.
Wow. I don't know if it's a little challenging to follow that. That's an awesome job, Mark and Mitch. Thank you very much. Yeah, my name's Steve Whitkey. I'm in sales. You know, I got a little bit of red on today, so we remember everybody deployed. So we should thank them. We should thank them all. That's an awesome video. Thank you. So Robert, that's kind of our era right there. You know, to start talking about the Vietnam War era. What a tough time for a lot of people. Anyway, we're here today to talk about safety, this safety meeting, right? But we talk about a lot of things that we bring to our associates and to our driver base. We do care about our drivers. You're obviously our very best team here. You do it every day. You pick them up and deliver them on time, every time. And we thank you for that. While I'm in sales, I only reflect what you all give us to sell. And I can tell you, you give us the very best product and service to sell to our customer base. You know, it's interesting times in trucking, been very exciting. It's been a little volatile, based off of the ability to get equipment, to do what we need to do for our lease operators, to support our lease program. I think you've gotten the message today that we're a little bit behind from our OEMs getting equipment. So we're just asking you all to give us a little bit of patience. This too will pass. We'll start getting our equipment in on a regular basis and be able to hit some of those commitments that we're falling short on right now. We're pushing them out a little bit, but it'll all work out. We're going to get on through it. On the sales side, business is really good. I think last week we turned down something like 11,000 loads. So, you know, we've got plenty of business. If we can just continue to get our training program moving along, continue to recruit, get more folks doing the training piece so that it will allow us to grow. And in this business, size really does matter. Growth is important. We can do some things with the capacity that we have that others can't do. So I would encourage you, if you haven't looked at the possibility of being a trainer, that you research that a little bit. I think it is a wonderful thing when you can get back to your industry that you all have helped build. And here at Prime, we have a really strong culture, family culture. You heard earlier, we're going to start doing our million-mile dinners. We're going to start recognize our female drivers, our highway diamond operators. So we're getting back in the swing of things. We're looking at COVID in the rearview mirror. Thank goodness we need to get on with our lives and continue to provide the highest level of service that we possibly can. Our customer base has really been good to us. They have recognized the need to move rates, and they've worked with us on the rate side. So year over year, we've made a ton of progress. I hear this kind of resounding question or comment that I just want to touch on. Fuel is a really important part of your business. And as you all know, it's skyrocketing. Look, here's what you do. You don't worry about that. You just get out there and get the very best fuel mileage you can. We've got you protected on fuel surcharge programs with our customers. We've got a guy that's buying fuel from these truck stops at an unbelievably low cost, and it's being passed through to you 100%. So we're doing that behind the scenes. Do not get enamored or don't get upset and don't get depressed over what fuel is doing. We've got you covered on that. And if you don't believe it, talk to your fleet manager. They can explain it. But it is more important than ever that you really work diligently at getting a very good miles per gallon average. Okay? You do that, get that thing down, over, I should say, 7 miles to the gallon. We got a lot of people getting 8.5, 9. You'll be just fine. Just do your part on the fuel mileage side and everything will work out. Really, I think that's what I got for y'all. We appreciate very much what you do. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep looking for good customers that want to be shippers of choice, that will work with us on detention and stops and dwell time and all those things that are really mattering to you as far as the value of your time. So we're working really hard at that. I'm going to introduce Robert Lowe, the guy that started this thing a few years ago.
Hey.
Go right ahead.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Actually, we should point out that, don't tell the shippers, but every time fuel goes up, we have an opportunity to make a little bit more money. That's the way the fuel surcharge mechanism works. If you can beat that index, if you can beat that 7 miles a gallon, every incremental dollar adds a profit potential for you all. So, it's not a bad deal for Prime. We hate to see it go up because of the overall effect on the economy. Working families out there, it's costing more to fill up their pickups so they can get to work. So that may have a dampening effect on down the road, which we're concerned about and we're aware and our heads are up for those kind of challenges. But as it affects Prime, thanks to Steve and the team and the good work that you all do, because our shippers recognize the good work that you do. We're able to negotiate, these surcharge mechanisms that are very, very lucrative. I was touched by that. Steve and I lived through that time. Our folks, our vets that served over there came home and really weren't respected, weren't recognized. And there's a parallel there. Truck drivers haven't gotten the respect and the recognition that they deserve. You all make tremendous sacrifices to pick up this nation's food products and, everything imaginable. If you got it, a truck brought it kind of thing, to keep this country moving and fed and equipped with the farmer we need and all those kinds of things. You make sacrifices, time away from home, miss little league games and family gatherings and all those things that really define, the kind of middle-class life that we all aspire to. And you sacrifice those things, like those vets sacrifice things. So there's definitely a parallel there. And you all deserve respect and recognition for what you do. You're a tremendous group, and you go out there and lace them up every day. All kinds of weather, all kinds of adversity, all kinds of problems with operations where they didn't get your appointment right and all those kind of things. I'm not throwing them back. They do a great job, but once in a while we screw up, and a lot of times, you all on the receiving end of that. So we're working on all those kinds of issues every day. But the point is that you all make tremendous sacrifices. It's recognized and much appreciated. I thank you for what you do. God bless each of you, and be safe out there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So,